the setting. Today we are at the park in this beautiful flower garden just to give it a more lively background.
Yes, thank you. And it's beautiful. I love the temperatures, not too hot, right? So we hope you are enjoying your summer. We have a great selection of books, and Paul is going to start with the children's book.
So this first book we have here is by Dolly Parton, and it is illustrated by Brooke, Boynton-Hughes, and it's called Coat of Many Colors. It is bilingual. It is English and Spanish.
Yes. And can you tell us a little bit about the story in this book?
Yes, this book is about Dolly Parton and how her childhood was a little bit, and her mother made her a coat of many colors out of many different scraps of fabric.
Yes.
With different patterns and different colors, and she really liked this coat. But when she went to school, she was made fun of, but it didn't bother her. She just told the children that she liked her coat how it was, and that her coat was more expensive than any of their coats because it was made with love by her mother.
Yes. And this is very important message, right? I like the concept. Even this book is actually one of millions of books that she has been able to provide to kids, you know, in the United States, in Australia, in I think Canada, Republic of Ireland, United Kingdom. And so the concept is that every month, you know, family register through this organization called the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and they will send a book to children, you know, I think it's from maybe 1 to 5. That's the cut, you know, the cutout age, 5 years old. And it helps family introduce reading to kids. So what do you think about that concept? Maybe we should try that someday.
Maybe.
There are still many places in the world, especially in Africa, where kids really don't have access to many books, right? And they would love to have these stories too. So who knows, guys?
Okay, our next book is called The Ringbearer by Floyd Cooper. It's a very cute book. I really like the pictures.
Yes.
They're quite detailed.
Yes, I really love the pictures too. And did you see, especially the little girl, she looks just like you when you were about that age. And what is the story in this book?
This book is about this little boy, and his mom is getting married, and he's really nervous because he has to be a ring bearer, and that's actually a really important job.
Yes.
In a wedding. Usually you see like an adult doing that job.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and his little stepsister
Yes.
is going to be the flower girl, and she trips, but he catches her, and it's a nice short book, and it's really nice.
Yes. And so I would strongly recommend this book, even though I'm not sure that you can find it easily, because this is actually some books that we pick through the mobile library in the park. And so, but for me, it's very important to make sure that, you know,
Oh, this is part of the imagination.
oh wow, that's one of the books, yes. And I took it from the mobile library in the park. So it's important for you to know, right? To know that this is one way of bringing books to kids. And after we finish reading, we'll make sure to put it back in the mobile library. Okay, so great.
And our next book is called Lizzie Learns About Life. This book is really good for children. It would be nice for like a teacher of first, second, even third grade reading
Yes.
this to their
You have to
students,
look at
because it's about lying, and lying is a big problem in this world. not only for adults but also for children. And it's about this lizard, and she is a huge liar. But this like kind of superhero character kind of educates her about how lying is bad and how it can get people hurt.
Yes.
And also another reason why you shouldn't lie, it isn't really in this book, but another reason is that if you lie all the time, your friends and family will never believe you if something real actually happens, because they're always gonna think, oh, you're just lying because you always lie.
Yes.
So it's not good to lie, because then no one will ever believe you if something's actually real.
Yes, and that's very important even as you grow up to be an adult, right? If you lie the first time and then the second time you're really telling the truth, who will believe you? Because they will say you lost your credibility when you lied the first time. So important message for children everywhere, right?
Yes. Okay, our last picture book for today is called Art and Max. It is about these two lizards. This is probably like his older brother or even his dad. And it's how Max really likes painting, but he has a different way of painting.
Yes.
Instead of painting on a canvas, he likes to
paint on real animals or objects. Yes.
So it's about how Max wants to learn how to paint, and Arthur lets him, and like a few minutes later Max is like, what do I paint? And Arthur's like, oh, you can paint me. And usually to most people they think, oh, paint him on a canvas.
Yes.
But Max just throws paint on him.
Yes.
So it's really quite funny.
Yes.
And so that's just his unique way of painting.
Yes. And I love it. I love the illustration. You can show inside. It's really bright colors, especially where he splashed. This was my favorite page, guys. This is really fun to even look at it and see. And this, look at him here. He's completely covered. So great book for young children, right?
Yes.
I think this is really for maybe 1 to 3 years old. They will love this
Well,
book.
I mean, yeah, if their parents are reading to them.
Oh yes, you know, parents.
But this like
mostly will
reading
read.
level will probably be around first grade.
Yes.
So
But you know, usually picture books, parents read to kids. So great. Thank you. And
okay, now we're going to move on to some of my books. These are also like children, but like higher,
yes.
older kids, like 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe even 6th grade.
Yes.
So this first book is, I'm so happy I got my hands on this. It is Diary of a Wimpy Kid Deep End. I love Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It is amazing. We've reviewed a couple of Diary of a Wimpy Kid books before this one, and this is the latest book, so make sure to read the other books first to know the characters and stuff. But basically this is about Greg and his family. They go on vacation. Right now their house is under construction.
Yes.
You'll have to read the book before this to know why.
Yes.
So I don't want to spoil this book or the other book for you guys. So I'll just talk about the bare minimum so I don't spoil it for you guys.
Okay.
And so they go on vacation and they go through a bunch of crazy things, crazy travels. And let's just say their RV camp is interesting. It has a bunch of rowdy kids.
Yes.
Some of the people aren't very friendly, and in the end, a really bad disaster happened, and well, let's just say the people become a little little bit cuckoo. So you'll have to read the book to find out yourself.
Okay.
So I don't want to give it away because it's a really good book.
Yes.
And I definitely recommend this series before this book because this is the last book in the series.
Yes. And there's still a lot of time for kids to go to the library in your local area and pick the book, right?
Yes.
Great.
And this next book is also not the first book in the series, but it is called Friday Barnes, No Rules. This is also an amazing series, and it is one of the few mystery books that I've actually enjoyed.
Yes.
I feel like mysteries are, for me, just like too long or too boring.
Yes.
Especially when they're chapter books. But this book is a chapter book, but it is really, really good. This is like one of my favorite series.
Yes. I think the author in this series really captivate your mind, right?
Yes.
The author really makes you turn pages after pages, because you've been telling me a little bit of everything that's going on and the drama and
there's
the mystery.
even a little bit of romance, which is
Yes.
amazing.
And what's the name of the author of the series?
R.A. Spratt, and the illustrator is Phil Gossier.
Yes. So great selection.
I like this book because there is a couple of pictures for like the important moments, and like at the beginning of each chapter there's always going to be like a small picture
Yes.
to kind of help tell you what's going on in that chapter.
Yes.
So yeah, this is definitely a really good book. You guys should definitely check it out. This is not the first book. This is actually the fourth book. These are the other books in the series.
Yes. Great.
So definitely check this one out. I loved it.
Thank you.
Now this next book is called Roller Girl. It is really good for it's actually a broader like age group.
Yeah.
I'd say from like 4th grade up to even 8th grade, because my older brother loves this book and it is really good. It's about this girl and her name is Astrid, and her best friend go to a roller derby match, I guess.
Yes.
And Astrid really falls in love with the sport. She really loves it from the beginning. But her friend liked it, but she is also into ballet. She does ballet. So Astrid and the girl are planning to go to roller derby camp, but later on in the book, Astrid's best friend tells her that she can't go because she is going to ballet camp for summer.
Yes.
And that's pretty okay with Astrid. I mean, she's a little bit sad because her best friend won't be able to go with her, but she's like kind of okay with it. But then she finds out that her best friend has been hanging out with Astrid's old bully. This girl used to bully Astrid when they were younger. And so Astrid is not happy about that. She's not okay with that. So that's what really starts to make it a problem for Astrid. And so later on, when she goes to roller derby camp, she meets a nice girl and they become friends. Her new friend from roller derby camp actually dyes her hair blue, so that's fun.
So,
but in the end, Astrid ends up making up with her friend. They aren't as good friends, but they're on good terms, so that's good. And the book ends off well.
Victoria Jamieson, right?
Yes.
She's the author of this book. I have a question. So, what would be some of the themes discussed in this book? I know there's friendship, of course, but we see the different way friendship can turn into, right? And what else?
don't be too controlling of your friend. Let your friends have different friends besides yourself.
Yes.
Don't be like, oh, you can only be my friend. Don't like be friends with so and so or another person.
Okay.
Just be open-minded and let your friends be friends with whoever they want to.
Yes, that is a great message for kids.
Just try and be kind
And not
to
just for
the
kids,
other person.
Yes, and not just for kids, even adults, right? It's when you have a variety of friends, right? Friends with various interests from different backgrounds, that you actually enrich your own world. Right?
You don't automatically have to be friends with your friend's friend.
Yes.
You just have to be polite, kind. Just don't bother her
Yes.
or be rude. Just be
Great.
nice.
Yes. And what would be maybe one more thing in this book?
People like different things. You can't always expect your friend to like every single thing that you like.
Yes.
Like if it's like activities, sports,
Yes.
foods,
So,
colors.
so very important, right? To appreciate people in their differences, right?
Yes.
Your friend might enjoy movies and maybe you're not so much into movies, maybe you're more into fashion or
And don't
books.
don't only talk about what you like. Make sure to ask about your friends' hobbies, like if they do ballet, like the girl in this book.
Yes.
Make sure to ask, how's ballet going? Is it fun? Do you like it? What is it like?
Yes, that's very important. You don't want to be the center of attention all the time, right? It's important to let other people around you express themselves,
Yes.
right? So, great. Thank you very much. And so when we come back, we are going to talk about my books. Okay, guys, welcome back. And now I'm going to tell you about my books, right? So
Yes.
these are the books that I'm reading, and I will continue reading throughout this month of July, right? So the first one is Behold the Dreamer. This is written by Imbolo Mbue. This is a novel, and let me tell you, she is from Cameroon and she lives in New York City. So at the time she wrote this book, and this is a book about a family from Cameroon. Can you believe it? And you know, guys, I'm from Cameroon, so that's why I was very excited. This is the second time I'm reading this book. The first time, actually, it was a couple of years ago. And then this week, right, my book club picked this book. So I was very surprised. And so this is my second time. So it talks about this family from Cameroon, and they're trying to have a better life in New York City. And so it's the husband, the wife, a son, and then later on they're going to have another child. And this book talks a little bit about their integration. You know, the husband has to find a job. He was a driver of one of these Wall Street executives, so this was like a very rich person. And so the husband drives the executive, right? And later on, the wife also works for the lady, you know, the executive wife. And, you know, throughout the book, we see them going through their struggles, but there are also a lot of moments of happiness, right? And we also see that at the beginning, they have this relationship where they're just employer, but at the end their life is almost intertwined. This is a great book, and let me tell you why I like this book so much. It's also because it has that Cameroonian flavor in the way she writes, the way we speak in Cameroon. You know that in Cameroon we speak not only English and French, but we have over 200 native languages that we speak. And when you open this book, it almost seems like she is using, you know, she switches from French to English in the same sentence. And it's just, you know, very interesting to read. And so if you have time, pick this book. it's never old enough to read, you know, especially for us immigrants from the diaspora. It's never too much to read one of those books. It really depicts the life, you know, that many of us go through, and that's why I love this book. So I would say again, Behold the Dreamers by Imbolo Mbue. And my second pick was this book, Arsenic and Adobo. Adobo is an ingredient from Latin American cuisine. And so my next pick is Arsenic and Adobo, written by Mia P. Manansala. So this one also, it's a book that I picked at the library. The author was actually coming to the library. So I don't know if the event passed already, but I'm still reading the book. And so that's about it for this book, guys, because I'm still reading. But it's just a great way to learn about other people, other culture, right? Usually these books are fictional characters, but in a way, they are actually like the picture. It's like the canvas of the society, right? So, you know, don't hesitate to pick one of the books when you go to the library. Pick children's book, but also make sure you treat yourself with one of those books, right? Great. And the last one that I picked, and which I was reading last month, was Open Water. I still want, you know, to talk about this book. It's a great book, and I would strongly recommend, you know, if you have the chance to pick it. It's a newly released. Yes.
So you can probably find it in the new book section.
Yes.
In your local library.
Yes, and usually if you don't find it, you put it on hold, and then they will make sure you get it after some time. So Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. I don't want to talk about the book because I want you to read it. It's very small, so if I start talking about it, I think I'm going to give away a lot of the story and the book. Okay, so this is great. And now we have come to the end of this selection, right?
Yes.
And so this is what I will be reading for the next 2 weeks of July. And
I already finished.
You already finished yours. Great. She's ahead of me, guys. She has more time to read.
Slow reader.
But that's okay, you know. We have different level of reading, and don't forget that English is my second language. So it takes me more time to read, guys. Now, what do we say?
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and click that notification bell down below so you know when we upload new videos every single time.
Yes, and thank you guys, and let us know what you are reading or what you would like us to read, right?
So if you pick one of the books that we mentioned in this video today, make sure to tell us how you liked it down below in the comment section.
Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.
Bye.